Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video in the new Aetherdrift format. And today we are playing an updated blue-white artifact deck, which as Aetherdrift is a heavy artifact themed deck, it has a lot of new goodies. So the basis of the deck is based around Simulacrum Synthesizer, a 3-mana artifact at Mythic Rare. It says when it enters you scry 2, so that's pretty good card selection. And it says whenever another artifact you control with mana value 3 or greater enters, you create a 0/0 construct which gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. So you can imagine those constructs can get pretty big in a artifact deck. Some of our old cards are Assimilation Aegis, a 3-mana, basically Oblivion Ring, Banishing Light type effect. But it's also equipment. You exile a creature, and then when you equip one of your creatures with this equipment, it turns into that creature. That's pretty good at turning a small creature into, say, a Sheldred or something. And then Collector's Vault is a 2-mana artifact. You can pay 2 and tap it, draw a card, discard a card, create a treasure token. 4 copies of Maze Mind Tome, pretty similar, but you can tap it to scry 1, or pay 2 and tap it to draw a card. Basically, once you've done it 4 times, you then exile it, you gain 4 life, so that's pretty cool. 4 copies of Shelter by Ghost, because we're playing white, why wouldn't we? 4 copies of the Enigma Jewel. Probably haven't seen this in the previous version of the deck, but it's a 1-mana artifact. It comes into play tapped, and you can tap it to add 2 colourless, and then you spend this mana only to activate abilities. So this is really good turn 1 play into a turn 2 Maze Mind Tome or Collector's Vault, because then you can activate those straight away with the Enigma Jewel, and obviously it counts as an artifact. And then 2 copies of Braided Net, a 3-mana artifact. It says when it enters with 3 net counters on it. You can tap it to remove a net counter, tap another non-land permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated for as long as it remains tapped. So a great way to get rid of a blocker or a troublesome attacker, or even tap down a planeswalker because its abilities are activated abilities. And you can craft with artifact for 1 the blue, meaning you exile another artifact from your graveyard or in play. Then it comes back as Braided Quipu. You can pay 4 and tap it, draw a card for each artifact you control, then put this artifact into its owner's library further than top. So that can draw a lot of artifacts if you need to. A lot of cards, sorry, if you need to. So onto the new cards. So one of the things that makes this deck tick now is Repurposing Bay. It's a 3-mana artifact, so obviously it triggers Synthesizer. And you can pay 2 and tap it, sack another artifact, search a library for an artifact card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrificed artifact's mana value. Put the card on the battlefield, then shuffle, activate Owners of Sorcery. This is why we are playing Collector's Vault and Maze Mind Tome, because 1, it gets us card draw, which is great, but if we have these on a battlefield and maybe don't need the card draw, we can sack it with the Repurposing Bay and go and get a Synthesizer or Assimilation Aegis if we need some removal. And just carry on building up a board, or even a Braided Net. But usually it's going to be a Synthesizer, because the more of those we have on the board, the more powerful our constructs are going to be, and the more constructs we are going to create every time we play an expensive artifact. Then we've got 3 copies of Nesting Bot, a new 1/1 with Start Your Engine. Start Your Engine is a new mechanic. It's similar-ish, well, not really, to Daytime, Nighttime from Innistrad. Basically, when it comes into play, if you haven't started your engine so far, you go to 1 speed, or speed starts at 1. Then on each of your turns, when an opponent loses life, the speed increases, but only the first time. So it only works on your turn when an opponent loses life, and it only works once. And then a lot of creatures or a lot of cards have a benefit if you get a max speed. There are a few that have benefits depending on your speed, but so we can see here, Nesting Bot, if it gets the max speed, it gets +1, +0. And also what's good about the Nesting Bot is when it dies, it creates a 1/1 artifact, so it's hard to remove or hard to stay dead. Then we have 3 copies of Mendicant Core Guidelight, a 2-mana star 3, and its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. It also has Start Your Engines, and if we do get a max speed, it has a trigger. Whenever we cast an artifact spell, we may pay 1. If we do, copy it. We're not great at getting max speed. These are only 2 cards we have that start it, and none of our cards have evasion, but we might get there. You could play a lot more evasive deck with like Spyglass Siren to hit in the air to get max speed. And then finally, 4 copies of Memory Guardian, a 5-mana 3/4 flyer, but has affinity for artifacts, so we could often pay 1 for this. And this feels a bit like the up the beanstalk into Overlord of the Hauntwoods combo, where, because Overlord only costs 3 when you impend it, but it's a 5-mana card, you draw from Overlord, you draw from up the beanstalk. It feels a bit like this when you have Synthesizer out and you pay this for 1 and you still create a big construct. Mana base, as you'd expect, plains, islands, Flood Farm, Verge from Dustmourn. We have 2 Meticulous Archives and 2 Sea Chrome Coasts. We only have 22 lands, and most expensive card is 3 mana, apart from Memory Garden, but you're never paying more than 3 for that. And we've not gone for the Adakar Waste, the Pain land, because we don't actually have any cards that have multiple mana symbols of the same colour, and because we do have some colourless, mana base is not that hard. So just to save us some damage, we have gone quite a few basics. So that's a deck. It's pretty powerful. It was pretty powerful in the old format. You could go a bit more controlling, I think. You could go like 3 steps ahead as counter spells, and obviously copy in your artifacts, especially your synthesizers. There is another affinity card from the new set, Voyage Home, which you could play. 7 mana, draw 3, gain 3 life. It's likely you'll be able to play this for 2 or 3, but I couldn't really find space in it. And I said you could go more artifacts and affinity without doing the whole Simulacrum Synthesizer deal. But this is a deck I've gone for, and it is pretty powerful. It's really good when you get going and suddenly you've got 4 12-12s on the battlefield. So hope you enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the gameplay. Well, if we had 3 lands and we're on the play, we might keep this, but this is just too slow. This is better. I think we put back the Enigma Jewel, seeing as we don't have a Collector's Vault or Maze Mine Tome. But we have plenty of 3 mana artifacts now. Well, we draw an Enigma Jewel anyway. So next turn we Synthesizer. So we are playing against an affinity deck. Don't need either of those. What do I do? Just draw. Imagine draw. Yeah. Yeah, we'll take that. Well, we'll play out a second Synthesizer. I'll keep a shout by ghosts. There's no point attacking. Probably should play for more Revolt. Well, that was a whiff. Well, let's just... get rid of their Market Gnome. They're down to 6. We're up to 3 speed. If they have a Sunfall, that would be annoying. Oh. Well, let us Maze Mine Tome. Let us draw with the Maze Mine Tome. And then Repurposing Bay. And then sack the Maze Mine Tome. For, let's just do an Assimilation Aegis. Get rid of their Thran Spider. Do they have another glyph bridge? They do have another glyph bridge. Okay. Well, that's not really what we wanted to see. We'll get a Maze Mind Tome and draw. Nope, nope. It's just so that if they have another glyph bridge, we basically have some protection. I would love one of our braided nets. Yeah. We'll get another Maze Mind Tome. Yeah, we are not flooding or bricking, but we're not drawing what we want. Next turn we can... Sorry, my Alexa just got heard me. Next turn we can get a braided net by sacking a Maze Mind Tome to the Repurposing Bay. But we will scry. No, thank you. Or you can cast that for one. Well, I can't attack. But let's sack the one with most counters on it. let's get a braided net. Create a bundle of things. Sack our 1/1. Which counts as another 3 mana artifact. We draw literally half our library, I think. And let's just play out Memory Garden, because it does have flying as well. And we can play out another Memory Guardian. And that's our turn. The fact they haven't scooped makes me think they've got another sweeper. Right, we want to keep Menigan Court, Synthesizer, Braided Net, Repurposing Bay. Might as well keep Verge. Maze Mine Tome. And a second Mendicant Core. Obviously they can do something similar, but I think we do have more artifacts than they do. Well, I'm guessing they haven't got a sweeper then, because they haven't fired it off immediately. I do like that art, that's really cool. They copy their synthesizer. They have a 9/9. Well, we've got 12 24/24s. The Glyph Bridge would destroy all their creatures as well, and we'd keep an Estin bot. So even if it did have it, we'd probably come out ahead. We go first with an okay hand. No creatures, but we do have some removal if we do find our creatures. And Maze Mine Tome can help us scry or draw to get there. Obviously Collector's Vault can help us draw as well, but that does cost mana. Second Maze Mine Tome. We'll put a stop on our upkeep so we can scry. There is a stick from our opponent for something. I'm guessing a nowhere to run. Sure, because that can let us draw with the tome. Yeah, it's definitely a nowhere to run, I think. We'll play our Collector's Vault. Then probably just draw with... Well, we'll play out the tome and then we can scry with one, draw with the other one. Oh, it does come in tap, doesn't it? Actually, yeah, so... You've still got that card, opponent. You've still got that nowhere to run. I wonder if they've have they just noped out because they're not playing against an aggro deck. No, they are still here, just being very slow. No, Phyrexian Arena. We can scry twice. Don't think we need another land for now. Still don't think we need another land for now. But we did find another land. Well, I think we just... we can draw twice. I didn't put a stop on my upkeep. Should have done. Let's do that now while we remember. Oh, they just find a beseech. Let's draw with this one. And then let's draw with the cage. We'll put back a Shelter by Ghosts. I wonder what they get. Part of me hopes it's a Shouldered, so we can Assimilation Aegis it. Oh, not something they... Oh, they didn't bargain it, did they? I'm going to put... Oh, and let's draw it now. Wow, okay. Because obviously if it dies, it's not the end of the world. We do have our speed started. I think these chevrons are upside down. They look upside down to me. Should start from the bottom and go up. I wonder what they fetched. It was a Shouldered. Well, let's draw... Well, maybe it wasn't a Shouldered, but obviously they... They didn't beseech it. Bargain it, sorry. Obviously we can remove it. That's not a problem. Probably with the Aegis, because then we can turn our nesting bot into a Shouldered. Now obviously we know they have a ton of removal, but it doesn't remove the Aegis itself, so they won't get shouldered back. We're up to speed 2. First time we've played with speed. Are they... Now in black, I can't imagine I don't think there's anything that can destroy artifacts. It doesn't mean we don't get our bot, which is irritating, but... We'll just draw with our Maze Mine Tome, gain some life, and there is a Simulacrum. The fact we're drawing another one means I'm... No, we'll just wait. We can draw with Collector's Vault and ditch the Enigma Jewel. We're at 26, they're at 10, so we are in a much better position. Yeah, there's another Sheoldred. Well, letters. Aegis. That means we create a 9/9. This doesn't obviously create a another creature, but we do have lethal. And if they have, we know they have Sheoldred's Edict. It means we can just sack whichever one we want. So it's just a fell. Obviously fell does destroy artifacts, go for the throat doesn't. We do know they're playing go for the throat as well. Yeah, there we go. We'll just put a land back. We don't have many other non-lands of activated abilities. I would love to find a repurposing bay so we can upgrade our Collector's Vault, basically. That's not a problem. And their Phyrexian Arena is just killing them eventually. We'll activate the Collector's Vault. Probably ditch Shelter by Ghosts. I think they're just all removal. I suppose we could have made our nesting bot a Sheoldred again, so cut down wouldn't have hit it, but we know they did have the Sheoldred's Edict. Another synthesizer would be really good. Let's say Repurposing Bay to upgrade the Collector's Vault. They do beseech and sack their arena. Do they get another? They do get another Sheoldred. Well, they're gonna love our third Assimilation Aegis. And we create a 12/12 and a 12/3. I'm not going to turn any of these into Sheoldred. Cut down doesn't work. Go for the throat doesn't work. Fell does, and I only have 2 left. That works. I'm surprised they didn't collect evidence. We're at 35 apiece, so no risk of milling out just yet. They have another arena, and we get another land. Well, let's draw, because we might want to ditch the land. We will nest in bot. And let's turn it into shouldered. Well, they don't seem to have any more removal. They may have drawn it with that first one, doesn't look like it. But if they don't have removal, they are dead. They might have another deadly cover-up. Or sorcery speed. Well, this does create a... a chunky artifact, and we're going to craft with a treasure. Create another one, and we'll just draw now. And draw a unreasonable amount of cards. The fact they haven't scooped makes me believe they have the board wipe. Oh wow. I forgot that was in standard. But basically, we are just showing off a bit. Because then we just attach one of our assimilation aegises to one of our creatures and turns into a shouldered, and unless they've got go for the throat, which they might do, they're dead on their draw. Yeah, so a pretty long game, but a bit of a grindy one as well. We go first. I think we Enigma Jewel into Maze Mine Tome. Which lets us start drawing. We'll put a stop on our upkeep as well. Oh, 3 assimilation aegises. Seeing as we have them, I think I'll just take out the Misery Shadow. Let's draw again. The Memory Guardian and a Mendicant. Let's get rid of their other Misery Shadow and then play out a Memory Guardian. who would love a synthesizer. We have all these 3 mana artifacts. I think we do draw again with the tome on our upkeep. Oops! Yes. Even though it only costs us 1, it is a 5 mana creature. We go first with... on our hand, if we get a 3rd land, we'll be in business. Turn to Mendicant. And then we can have Shelter by Ghost if we need it. They fetched a forest. So it's unlikely to be mono green. Yeah, Golgari. Oh, there's a 3rd land. Yeah, I'll keep both of those. So I'd like them to play something weak in Assimilation Aegis. Let's attack in. And let's pee out the Repurposing Bay. Create a 4/4. Deadly cover up. No, just Frankel's prank. Well, let's get down the Guardian, which lets us cast the other Guardian. And they do now need a sweeper. But yeah, we technically we have lethal 12, 15, yeah, 16. And if they play a blocker, we could Braided Net and tap it out of the way. Well, Maze Mine Tome can be upgraded with Repurposing Bay, and we are on the play. So I think we give this one a go. Let's just get down the tome. Don't think we need another Repurposing Bay. They cycle their Skybox Ferry. Oh, they're on a discard deck. Don't need more land. Don't need more land. Well, let's upgrade this into another Maze Mine Tome. or let's do Mendicant Core, and then we can play out another Enigma Jewel. We could take out their Monument to Endurance. Which I think we will do. If they don't have removal. See, cycling at instant speed. What we'll do is upgrade this into a synthesizer. And next turn we can Repurposing Bay or play out another synthesizer. We don't need an Enigma Jewel. I assume they're trying to get enough Monument to Endurance to just burn me out in a turn. But obviously our creature having lifelink is pretty powerful. So I imagine they've got 3 steps ahead to copy it. That's annoying. But we are about to have some powerful pieces. Yeah, I do need another land. Yeah, it's a pretty powerful deck, the old discard one. And one we're definitely going to play. Problem is, this takes so long. Wow, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, didn't see that coming. Hello Magic fans and welcome back to a very quick wrap up. So yes, this is a pretty powerful deck. I think to improve it, Mendicant Core Guideline, I think in theory it seems like it should be good in this deck. It can get very powerful or high power, and if you get to max speed, you know, you can copy your artifacts, doubling all your artifact synergies. But this deck's not really built for max speed. If you were going to go that way, I think you swap out Nesting Bot for Spyglass Iron, so you have a turn 1 flyer, but obviously you do then potentially lose Start Your Engines on turn 1. Or you can replace Mendicant Core, maybe put in a couple more Collector's Vault, or maybe go Thran Spider, which is probably a more efficient creature. It triggers your Simulacrum Synthesizer. It gets you a Power Stone, so it does ramp you, and everything's artifacts. You can use it to cast pretty much everything. It does ramp your opponent as well. You could also pull in Fomori Vault. I think that's what it's called. You can potentially look at your top X, where a number of X's are a number of artifacts you control, and put one into your hand. So that could potentially fetch a few artifacts. But Braided Net, transforming it or crafting it and then destroying 15 cards worked out pretty well as well. Probably go for a couple more Braided Nets as well instead of Mendicant Core. And even take out Shattered by Ghost, just because we don't have a huge amount of creatures to put it on until, say, the mid game, where Assimilation Aegis is a bit better. And I think there is a new 3-mana artifact in Aetherdrift which removes a creature. Perilous Snare, yeah, it's so you could play that instead of Shelter by Ghost, and yeah, it's a turn later, and you don't get the lifelink and everything, but this has more synergy with a synthesizer. So yeah, take out Shelter by Ghost, put in Perilous Snare, take out Mendicant Core Guidelight, maybe put a couple more Collector's Vaults or Braided Nets. Keep Nested Bot in if you're taking out Mendicant Core, and probably put in Fomori Vault into the mana base. But yeah, that's I think how you can improve it, and I'll probably do that in a few weeks time. But in the meantime, I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll see you all in the next video.